Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the VivKB podcast, once again produced by Thorpe Films. Thank you, Thorpe.
No worries, buddy. I'm excited for this one.
New location, man.
Yeah, man.
Look at us. Up in the world, brother. Literally up in the world. We are here in Gungahlin and we are here with a very special guest. My friend here just competed on the weekend. He took out the men's physique overall title, the ICN ACT Canberra Country Titles 2019. He is the big honcho of the Panda coaches. It is Mr. Wesley Suradnya. Wesley, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Viv.
That's all right, man. Well, first of all, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience. It really was.
Cool. Was it sort of what you expected? I mean, because you've been at the shows for a while now, and this is your first time getting up there.
Yeah, no, it was. Like, I was expecting what happened, and I was very, very nervous, though.
Yeah?
Extremely nervous. More nervous than I was expecting. But yeah, no, it was such a great experience.
It's really, really cool. Well, it's definitely going to be an area that we're going to talk about a bit later on because, unfortunately, for a lot of people out there, competing is not one thing that is done in one day. It takes, weeks, months, if not years to get ready for, so we will touch on that. But let's go to the beginning, dude.
Sure.
Talk to me through your childhood. Where'd you grow up?
Grew up here in Canberra.
Canberra
Born
boy.
and raised.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Florida Primary School. And then I went to, what was it? Belconnen High.
Forget high school? Tough times?
Belconnen High. No, it was good. Belconnen High, and then I went to Hawker College.
Cool. Did you play much sport growing up?
Yeah, I played only soccer.
Only soccer?
Just soccer and futsal, indoor soccer.
Who did you play for?
Bell West for pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
When did you stop playing that?
I stopped playing in a club maybe when I was 17, 18. And then I pretty much just stopped playing ever since then. I'd play friendly games here and there, but yeah. Was
it life just got busy or just lost passion?
No, I found myself, I just injured myself too often.
You sound like Mark.
Yeah. So I was like, nah, there's more important things.
What kind of injuries did you have?
Oh, my knees. I got terrible knees.
Yeah.
Especially, I think from playing futsal as well, really messed up my knees.
That happens to a lot of people. Futsal, is it just hard surface to start to get that wear and tear on the knees?
Usually people that play futsal get really bad ankles, but I was all in my knees.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when you were playing football or futsal, were you doing weight training at the time, or was that something that you took on after that?
It was something that I took on after that. I went to the gym for the very first time when I was in college.
What was your first gym?
It was I think it was Bodyworks in Belconnen.
Yeah.
Is it Bodyworks?
Body Blitz?
Body Blitz.
The one on the...
No, yeah, I think it was Body Blitz.
Body Blitz was like the... Dead set guy.
It's where Oatley Court is. You know the Sizak?
Yeah, Oatley Court, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Body Blitz. Or it used to be where the old... Was it like a bodybuilder's gym?
Yeah.
So for anyone that hasn't been there, it's not very big, but I swear to God, the guy has some of the best gym equipment ever. He's just a crazy bodybuilding fan. I trained there 2016 prep for a bit.
Right.
But yeah, so okay, going back to it.
Yeah.
Body Blitz first gym, what was that experience like?
It was good. I found out that I had a good bench press.
Oh yeah.
So I never bench pressed before, and I got on the bench press, and my classmates were like, "Whoa, you can lift some decent weight." I'm sure it was nothing back then.
What was it? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but I just remember having my classmates being like, "Whoa," and I was like, "Okay." But then I didn't go to the gym after that until I was about 21.
Right. So what's the age gap there?
So that was college. That was 17.
Okay.
17, yeah. 17, 18.
So between, let's say 18 to 21, you didn't train?
Yeah, I didn't train. I didn't play soccer. Nothing.
What did you do in that time?
That was my party stage.
Yeah.
That was going out doing stuff. And
I feel like everyone has that phase between 18 to 21. So you weren't training at that time. What made you want to train again?
Actually, funny that. I started working at a place called Kim's Car Detailing, right? And we were just cleaning cars. And one of the guys there, is Putra, which is my
Who
client.
competed this past
Yeah.
weekend as well.
Yeah, and he was jacked. And I was like, fuck, I want to look like him. And he's actually the one that got me into the gym, started me up training. He didn't train me or anything, he just gave me the inspiration, you know.
To want to go in.
And then, yeah, ever since then, I just fell in love with it.
Well, Putra obviously being one of them, I didn't know that, but did you have any idols growing up?
Idols? You know what, honestly, I didn't. I never really had any, no, I didn't really.
So there was never like sort of a physique that you saw and you were just like, yep, I want to look like that guy.
Because like my whole time, like gym wasn't a thing until I was literally like 21. So it would have been actually Putra, and my boss at the time, his name's Solesi, who owned Kim's Car Detailing. He looked great. So it was just people that I knew. It was never really anyone outside of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is 21. When did you start, for better choice words, bodybuilding? When did you start training towards a specific purpose?
So that would have been, like when I was 21 and I actually started training, that's when I was like, no, I'm taking this seriously.
Yeah.
That's when I started, and I took it so seriously. I saw incredible changes within like 3 months.
Noob gains, huh?
Noob gains completely. Everything had changed, and then as soon as I started to see that change, I was like, wow, I love this.
What was your nutrition like at the time?
It was, bro.
I reckon it's the best way to describe it.
It was, bro. It was like boiled chicken, not too much salt because you didn't want too much sodium. It was, brown rice. It was like fish, white fish. It was just.
It was proper, bro.
It was proper, bro.
How good were bro diets? They were such a big thing, I think, because macros certainly, like, macros are sort of a new thing, right?
Yeah.
And back, I guess, when we all started training, if you asked anyone, how do I get big?
Yeah.
Chicken, greens, brown rice. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm on.
And it works.
Sadly enough, it does work.
It works.
And I think that's a hard thing I know I found to explain to some people sometimes is if you're not where you want to be, there's always that option.
Yeah.
Because that's going to get you there. One way or another, that's going to get you there. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about coaching. When did you decide you wanted to be a coach?
So, after I started working at Kim's, I got a job at the University of Canberra.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off in student administration, and I was there for about 3, close to 4 years. And one of my main roles was to work very closely with students. And I kind of developed this, I guess, love for helping people, as cliche as that sounds. I just found that I was very, very good at it. And I found that I just became very good at guiding people in the right direction. And then, of course, working the 9-to-5 job, I was like, holy shit, I don't like this. What do I love? I love training. And of course, I'd been since I was, when I started 21, I was doing my own research as well because I was just so in love with it. That's 6 years worth of self-taught research as well. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm really good at helping people. I'm really good at getting people to do things. And I love training and I love, sport, fitness, that kind of stuff. And I was like, let's put it together.
Right. And did you basically come up with a business straight from there? Or was it one of those things where you sort of found people in your life, you said, hey, Kim, are you trying to get a better body? Let me help you. Let me just see if I'm capable of helping someone. Or did you already have that in your mind that, no, I want to make a business out of this?
Yeah. So I did my PT certs, right? And before this was like a year before I did my PT certs. So when was I? Like 24, I did my PT certs. And a year before that, I was like, I want to be a coach. I want to be an online coach. Actually, now that I think of it, I did look up to someone.
Yeah, who's that?
And it's this guy on YouTube, and he calls himself the online coach.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's this Filipino guy. He lives in the States, and I've watched him for so long on YouTube, and I was like, he's an online coach. I can do that. I want to do that. So I went and did my PT certs, and everyone there wanted to become a PT, and I was like, no, I want to be a coach. Because to me, I don't know about you, but I feel like there's a very huge difference between being a PT and being a coach.
Absolutely.
It might be controversial, but I believe there is.
I mean, we sort of spoke about this off camera. There's no definitive answer to virtually anything in this industry, right? And I mean, what you consider to be a coach might be very different to what other people consider it. But what you consider it to be is something, I feel, if explained, which you should probably do now, can give people a broader spectrum on that. So when you say a coach, what is the difference between a PT and a coach? If you were to give a few examples.
Damn. So I feel like a coach is... I don't even know.
Would you say that you take care of different aspects? I mean, when you're a PT, and again, this is being matter of fact in a subject that's not matter of fact, by the way. But a personal trainer might see someone for, let's say, an hour session. Their job is to get them through 6-7 exercises in that time frame. If they do that and the client complies, that's their job done. Whereas perhaps a coach takes on a few different aspects, whether it be mindset, a bit more lifestyle, like you said before, just that little bit of guidance with different aspects, whether it be work, nutrition, just to help streamline that goal that's perhaps a bit further down the track. Would that be a bit more of a...
Definitely. Like, there are so many aspects to being a coach. Like for example, a lot of my clients, you know, they have issues inside of their life, and they come to you or me to help. Like, my job is to help guide them through it, you know, because when we look at training and nutrition, it's a part of their life, you know. A lot of people tend to look at, no, here's my life, and this is what I felt when I was doing PT. I felt like they had their life, and then they had their fitness life. Right. And it wasn't molded together.
This isn't my real job.
Yeah, and it wasn't like molded together, whereas training and nutrition it should be as one.
Absolutely.
And then so many different things will affect, you know.
Well, I think about the good thing about training nutrition sometimes is it adds structure to life. So for a lot of people that I guess have lacked a bit of structure, whether that be because interchanging jobs, uni, schoolwork, relationships, having something that is very streamlined allows you to allocate time a bit better to the other aspects of your life. And if you were able to do that, I find anyways that you find life sort of rolls a bit easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, trying to go back to 2 steps, you said you didn't want to be a PT, you wanted to be a coach. Let's talk about being a coach. How have you found that?
Seriously, it's like the best thing I could have ever decided to do. Like, I love it so much. It's great.
Let's talk about some of the cool things that have happened since being a coach, because you change people's lives. And that's the honest truth. I mean, without sounding too WWE, there are sometimes good guys and there's bad guys. And I don't mean bad guys in the sense that they are intentionally going to try and harm others, but there's a bit of money in this industry. The health and fitness industry is booming. Some people do it for a bit more social recognition and Insta fame and all that, which I have no quarrels with, by the way. I mean, people find stimulus in different things. But I look at you as one of the good guys.
Thank you.
I can see that you genuinely want to help people. I've seen you. I've actually got a video. This is 2017. We were at City Nationals, and was it AJ? AJ was competing. And I was sitting in the front row. I noticed you and Lee about 5 rows behind me. And I just sort of grabbed my camera. And I'm like, I'm not going to even film the reaction of AJ winning. I'm just going to film Wesley's reaction to AJ winning. And you literally just jumped out of your seat. You were jumping on Lee. You were just a little schoolgirl, to be honest. You were just...
Yeah.
But that shows that you care. And let's talk about some aspects of coaching where you've seen yourself being able to change a few people's lives.
Whoa, where do I begin? There's just so many. Like,
Let's start from it. What was the first client experience you ever had? What was that like?
first client experience. So for the first, I'm going to say year and a half that I started, I guess, quote unquote coaching, which I had a lot of difficulty calling myself a coach, which we can get into later. For the first year and a half that I started doing this, it was completely for free. I never charged anyone, and I kind of just did it because I knew I needed to gain experience. But the first guy was one of my good friend's elder brother, and completely changed his life. He was quite overweight, and got him onto the whole tracking nutrition, all of that kind of stuff, and obviously it works. And seeing him change as a person, becoming more confident, now all of a sudden going out and doing things all of the time because he felt like he had the energy, that kind of stuff. And that kind of just gave me this huge sense of like purpose. I was like, wow, like this is real. I can create an impact on people's lives. And ever since then, it was just like, I need to do this.
Right. So the first year and a half, you said you did it for free. How many people, if you were just to guesstimate, did you help in that time frame?
Probably 20 to 30.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's 30 people. I mean, and the reason I ask that, and again, this is not really to pop up anyone, but a lot of people come into this industry straight away and they just want to go, okay, cool. How much am I going to charge these people to help them? And I feel as if you're doing it for that reason, you're going to struggle. But if you have that genuine care and want to help people, well, then after a while, people want to come to you and want to pay, for that service. So a year and a half, you've done it for free. You've decided to now charge for your services. Is this when the Panda Coaching system came up, or were you doing this as an individual first?
Yeah, so that's when Panda Coaching, that's when I was like, all right, yeah, let's make this a business because I can't live off mum forever.
I know, I've tried.
That's when Panda Coaching became a thing.
Was it just you to begin with?
It was just me to begin with.
Why did you choose the name?
Okay, so people always ask me this, why Panda? Number one is because it makes... Well, I thought of it... I didn't want to go with like the whole tiger fitness, not saying anyone's...
Dude, Mark Logan is going to sue us, man.
Oh, God, yeah. Like animals that are related to, have that fitness aggression persona. That's not me. I'm not an aggressive type of person or anything. I think pandas are cute, but also the main reason is because it would make people question. Like, it would raise the question, why did you choose panda? And that would help people remember a lot easier.
Right, okay. Well, it happened then. I asked, why panda?
Yeah.
We're on the topic now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started the Panda Coaches. You obviously now aren't the only coach in your business. You have a couple. How did you, what was the decision to bring others on?
So the main reason is because I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified starting this thing. Mainly because it was like, who the fuck is Wesley? And so to begin with, I was like, you know what? If this is a team effort, maybe we can make more of an impact. And also I get the benefit of not being alone. So I guess it was a bit of cowardness on my end. We started off, I spoke to Ahmed El Sharif. He was the first one with me, and that went really well. But then he decided that he wasn't passionate about coaching, which is completely fine. And he went off in his own way. And then we got Sam Purcell on board. And Sam is just, he knows his stuff, and it really kind of blew my mind because when I was speaking to him, I was like, hey, would you want to do this thing with me? I kind of gave him a quote unquote interview, my first ever conducting an interview.
Business owner, brother.
Yeah. And I asked him a series of questions, and everything he answered me with was like exactly what I would do. And I was like, wow, we aligned so well. Everything that we kind of do and the way that we would do things for our clients is
very similar.
Yeah.
Cool. So Sam was wasn't the first, but is now the coach you brought on. He's still with you.
Yeah.
And he put some fantastic clients in the shows as well. And you had Lee and AJ. Are they coaches with you?
No,
or
so Lee is with Panda. He works for Panda, but he does the editing.
Cool.
And then AJ was unsure, and now she's actually started her own business, and it's very, very successful.
All right,
now,
cool.
So she's doing
So
everything.
within your business now, it's you and Sam.
Sam and I are the coaches.
Understood. And Lee does. So if you guys haven't checked them out, we'll check a link below in the bio to check out their YouTube channel. They've got some fantastic content. You guys did a vlog series leading up to the shows, which we'll touch on a bit later. But let's go back 2 steps. You talk about the difficulties. Now, this is something that I definitely feel like I can relate with, but I will allow you to speak. You said cowardness. I don't think that's the case. And again, this is my opinion. This industry is very, very judgmental. For an industry that's meant to make us feel a lot better about ourselves, it's very judgmental.
Yeah.
When you decided you want to put people in shows without competing yourself, explain that back end process to you. Did you have that fear that, going to these shows that I'm putting someone in, but I haven't done it myself, am I going to get judged? Yeah?
Yeah, huge.
Elaborate on that.
Wow, that was like the biggest resistance I've ever felt in my life. Lee was my first, athlete that I put into a show. And that was just, it was so terrifying. I just felt like I felt like when I stepped into that back room on show day in ACT and the Hellenic Club, I just felt like I didn't belong there because I saw all the other coaches, and then I won't name any, but I had a lot of people like kind of look at me and be like, fuck you.
Right.
That was rough.
Again, without naming people, it was very hostile back then, wasn't it? And this is no way to bag what it is. And let's quickly clear this out. I think now is probably the best backstage vibe I've ever been a part of. I mean, I've only been there for about 5 years, but the 5 years that I have been around that backstage area, I think this is the absolute best vibe possible. I think all the coaches get along very well. It's very nice to see even the athletes interact with each other. And I feel as if people now enjoy that so much more and appreciate that so much more because of how it was back then when we sort of first came into it. When you were preparing Lee for this show, mind you, Lee did very, very well. He actually took out the overall title in his very first show, which is almost unheard of. Did you feel as if you'd earned your stripes then?
I did. Lee is literally the reason why I guess I kept going and pursuing. He was the one that gave me the confidence. He was actually the one. I didn't actually. Here's a fun fact. I didn't consider myself a coach up until he won. Because I hold, I don't know, the name coach, like being called a coach means a lot to me. And I felt like I wasn't there yet. I wasn't a coach yet. I couldn't call myself a coach. And I felt fake if I did. But then when Lee won, I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm a coach.
I hope that wasn't a fuck you to me. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
No, I completely understand. It's funny, that's exactly how I was probably the first year and a half of me. People would sort of tag me in posting, hey, thank you to my coach getting me ready to the show. And I'd sort of comment, hey, bro, not your coach, your friend. And it's that same thing. You were scared to call yourself a coach because you did put coaches on this pedestal. But right now, this industry is booming. And I know when I first started doing it, the big thing was people doing one show and then being called a coach and, you know, starting their own coaching business. And it was very frowned upon. And I think as you mature, you'd probably look at that and go, I think it's kind of nice that people want to help others, you know, pursue what they enjoy doing. I mean, you're not going to enjoy every relationship you have with every person you meet in your life. I mean, you might, and I'm sure you've had this experience as well. You've had people work with you, and although you feel like you've done your best, you just weren't as compatible. So they might go on and find someone new. Yeah. But that's the industry. You have to find things that are compatible. To bag anyone for trying to help others seems very silly. And it's very silly when you say it out loud. But I can imagine the fear that you had. I know I certainly went through the exact same thing, and it wasn't until probably even just last year, and that was after putting almost 50 people into shows, that I sort of went, coach, you know. Well, the business has expanded tremendously. You've now put in so many fantastic competitors into the shows. Like I said, Lee winning an overall. You had, these are just names I'm just going off the top of my head. You had Maggie, you had AJ, you had Putra. What have you found has been different since the first time you were in that backstage environment to, let's just say, this past weekend?
What's different? The vibes, man. Like, everyone's just friendly. It's really, really nice to see. Actually, because of that, because I had such a bad, I guess, experience my first show, that put me into a shell, I guess. And I was like, I'm not going to talk to anyone. I don't want to know anyone else in this industry. I'm just going to do my thing. And I was okay with that. I knew it wasn't sustainable, I guess. But I felt like that was the only way to actually, you know, progress. Just shut myself away from others in this industry, especially in ACT, and just do my thing. Yeah. And then you, because of the great person that you are, you know, reached out, and you kind of, I could tell that you were like, no, let's not be like this. And I was like, I received that very well. And I was like, you know what, let's be nice. Right. And then, yeah.
Would you say it was sort of nationals last year? I spoke to the ICA and ACT president. I said that I want to do something. I want, again, with his permission, to reach out to virtually every coach in Canberra and say, I have no animosity towards anyone, but what I really wanted was to actually have a team ACT. That we come to these state shows as, you know, whether it be VivKB coaching, Panda Coaching, you know, Cam's got his group, Jen, whatever it happens to be. But when that's all said and done, and we have these big shows like, you know, City Nationals, World Titles, I want us to be a group. Because my first experience at a national show, it was literally Mark and I. And that sucked. We felt so isolated. There was no one from ACT that went. And if they were, they didn't want to talk to us because, you know, fuck those guys. And it was shit because you've worked so hard to get there. And you're now made to feel very isolated. Yeah. Whereas I guess I had this little dream, and I don't mean to talk about this too much, but I feel what we did last year, and this is collectively, was so special.
It was amazing.
And you could see that every other state that was there, and this is not to bag at any other state, but they came as individual groups. Whereas we made a packed effort to come as Team ACT. I think we had 4 coaches, 15 competitors. We were the smallest but the loudest group there. And I think from that moment on, what's transpired moving forwards has honestly changed this industry.
Yeah. The backstage, the back room, this comp was just phenomenal. Like everyone, like, you know, my clients get along with your clients, and like you walk in, you just feel welcome. It's just, it was the best. It was the best. And it needs to be like that.
And I think it extends past the coaches as well. I mean, the guys at Compton, I think they're absolutely amazing.
It's like, it almost feels like this massive family. And it makes sense because we're all into the same thing. You know, bodybuilding it's a weird thing to do. You know, ask anyone that doesn't do bodybuilding. It's like, why are you doing that? That's weird.
Why would you willingly put yourself in a subjective sport?
And starve yourself, and like, why are you wearing tan? Like, it's weird, right? It's normal to us. But everyone there is doing the same thing, and it just makes sense for everyone to be friends.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of that, now, this past weekend you competed for the very first time. Now, usually this process is done opposite, right? People compete, then become coaches. You were a coach and then competed. Was competing something you always wanted to do, or did you feel like you had to do it?
No, I've always wanted to compete.
Right.
Always. Ever since I started, ever since I made that initial, drastic newbie gain change. I've always, and this is not to brag or anything, but I've always been able to, I've always looked at my physique and I'll be like, you know what, there's something here.
I look good.
Yeah, I look good. But of course I wanted to step on stage for the first time and actually look the part.
Okay.
So I wanted to, put away 3, 4, 5, whatever years, how many years it was, to building. But yeah, and I guess that's why I put people into a show before myself.
How did you find being able to relate on a mental level? So my safety net has always been, I know how you feel. I've done 10 shows. I mean, it's not a whole heap, but I've done enough to sort of go, I know how you feel at this point. Without personally experiencing that, was that a barrier that you had to face?
Honestly, so the way I coach, I get very, very close with my clients on a personal level. And I think in my nature, I'm very sympathetic and empathetic, and I can understand people very well. And that definitely helped. But of course, there was a barrier, especially going through it this time. I was like, holy fuck, this is what they were feeling like?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But, I did the best I could in terms of getting them to conditioning. I know what to do, that kind of thing. It's just about, putting it into practice. So yeah, there was a barrier. Minimal though.
Right. Now, let's talk about your experience competing for the first time now. How long was this prep?
30 weeks.
30 weeks.
It was a long time.
Did you prep yourself or you found a coach?
I got a coach.
Okay, cool. Now, sometimes I guess for a coach to find a coach, what was your choice in going with this particular person?
So he is someone that is, in my opinion, this bunch of coaches, they're named 3DMJ, and they're from the States, and they're, in my opinion, at the pinnacle of the natural bodybuilding as coaches. And I was like, if anyone's going to coach me, it's one of these guys.
Right.
And that's why I reached out.
Okay, so a 30-week prep. Let's talk about it day one to this past weekend. What was the first thing you noticed about your physique?
That I was heaps fat.
Heaps fat.
That I let myself go way too deep. Yeah.
Right. How did you find the initial process of now having to be very restrictive with your lifestyle?
Well, I guess because it kind of did. Well, 30 weeks is a long time for a prep, I guess. And because it was quite slow and quite gradual, I didn't really notice. It didn't get tough until like 10 weeks out, to be honest. So for the first 20 weeks of that prep, it was very cruisy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you did weekly check-ins and all that kind of stuff, and you sort of noticed that progress. When did you decide you wanted to vlog that journey?
About 12 weeks out.
Right.
Actually, no, we were going to do for the whole 30 weeks, but then it was like, no, fuck that. So much effort. And then about 12 weeks out, Lee and I were like, we've got to do something, And then so from the 10-week out mark is when we did weekly check-ins with YouTube.
Right. 'Cause I thought those videos were awesome. As a rival coach, I'm like, how's this motherfucker looking? Let me have a look. It was really, really cool. What I do want to ask you is something that I personally went through in the past 2 years. How did you find coaching others whilst being in prep yourself?
My patience grew thin as I got closer to the show. My sympathy for clients that weren't prepping became less. They would say, I'm so hungry, and I'd be like, you don't even fucking know what hungry is. But all in all, it was pretty good. It was good because they kept me busy. My clients kept me very, very busy in the times when I was like hungry, about to binge.
Right. And now, so you obviously have your general clients and your comp clients. What was that experience like competing with your clients?
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. I'm so proud of my athletes, and watching them go through it. I think for example, Putra, he was so nervous. He's very reserved. He's a very shy, quiet person, and for him to go stand up, half naked in front of a crowd is like the last thing he would ever think of doing. But I think he really enjoyed, and he found comfort in knowing that his coach was doing the same thing, and we had, obviously, with all of our athletes, we had a little group where it was just a chat between all of us, and whenever we had something going on, like maybe Kenny was feeling really stressed or really angry, he'd message us and we'd be like, no, it's all good, and there'll just be that moral support of everyone. It was just really nice.
That's awesome. And I guess for anyone that wasn't at the show or wasn't able to get the results, they all did phenomenal. I mean, Putra winning his first show after being what he's been through. I mean, he had a fantastic transformation, didn't he? I think Kenny did absolutely amazing as well. Lee, again, taking out the open short class, very, very tough lineup and just falling short that overall. But, what a battle that was.
That was so intense.
Do you find yourself getting invested in those moments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely. Like, when Lee first won his show in AC,
first one,
his first show, I literally cried.
Yeah.
I cried, and then this show now, it was just so intense. There was no way I was crying, but I was yelling.
Yeah. You didn't want your tan to go running.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think those moments are special though, aren't they? If you ever want to, besides working with me, of course, if you ever want to find a coach that, just cares, look at people like this. Look at people that look for these moments, right? Because it's very easy when you're doing something just for you to be emotionally invested in it. Why? Because you have both the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation for that to be enjoyable. But to be able to remove yourself from the situation almost completely and then watch someone else go through something that you feel like you've been a part of, honestly, that's more rewarding than the competing itself. I know for myself, when Mitchell Webb won the year before, and this is another thing, give him shit for crying, fucking pussy, because when I cried, you all fucking talk shit. He cried before I cried, so that's but it's those battles, right? It's you seeing your guys who have worked so hard to be up there. Now it's not even they're good, they're great.
Yeah.
And now when they're challenging for that title, you almost lose yourself in the moment.
Completely lost.
How did you go on your first comp? You won.
Oh yeah, I won. Oh yeah. No, I won. That felt good.
How the fuck do you not remember? It was last week.
Yeah, no. I was just no. That was really cool. Like, it was really cool. I wish there was more competitors though.
Yeah, it's. You know what, but I'll always say this. Just for the record, Wesley was not the only person in his division. There were others. There were others in it. You can't control who's against you, right? You can only control what you can control, and what you can control is you. Yeah. Thousands of people start this journey, dozens finish it, if that. So it can be very frustrating when you look amazing and you're like, I just wish I just slaughtered everyone.
Yeah.
Or, when you don't look as great and you lose to like one person, you're like, oh shit. But your transformation at 30 weeks was phenomenal. Did you ever think you weren't going to make the stage?
No.
You were always committed to it?
Yeah. Cool. I was, obviously there was hard weeks when I was like, fuck, can I really be bothered? But, from the moment in my head was like, yeah, you're going to compete. It was just straight go.
Do you feel that because you've put that, with better choice of words, pressure or expectation on your clients, you couldn't have an out?
There was no out.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like I fucked up so many times throughout this prep. I'm going to say more than 15 times I overate. I had my own clients saying, come on, Wes, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, shit, you're right, guys.
You're like, do as I say, don't do as I do.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Right, but you committed to it. You competed for the first time. Now, I've been on your back about this a little bit. I asked you this question, I think 3 weeks ago, and I said, would you do this again? Now that you've actually done it, would you do it again?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm going to be doing this again.
Because the conversation we had, the answer was no.
Yeah. That was a rough week.
It's very hard to explain what that feeling of elation is like once you've actually completed that journey, isn't it?
Well, and this is what I was talking about this with my clients. When it was all done and dusted, when it was all finished, it was like, what now? And although I know what I need to be doing, I have my goals before comp even finished, but as soon as it was over, it was just like, I don't know, it was just this sense of, what now?
I always call it the Monday after. The shows used to be on Sundays. I used to wake up on that Monday and just stare at the roof and go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because you feel very empty, because you've had that, every day's had purpose.
You wake up with purpose.
Absolutely. And then if you don't have a goal after that, losing that purpose is where I'm sure you found a lot of clients, they tend to just go almost the complete opposite of what they've just been doing for so long, and the body doesn't like that.
No.
The body does not approve. You cannot win that battle. What's next?
What's next? That's a good question. So I have a lot of areas that I need to improve in terms of my physique. My back, I need to get somewhat close to Lee spec back. And my glutes, legs, that whole lower body just needs to grow. Full stop.
Are you staying in men's physique, or do you want to?
You know what? I was talking about this with Lee, and I was thinking, you know what, dude? I think I'm the physique guy. Like, I don't know. I just feel like when I looked at like pictures and shit of me up on stage, I was like, fuck, I think I've got a physique body, you know?
When you say physique, men's physique, classic
men's
physique,
physique,
men's physique, right.
Body. Yeah.
Well, you won, so that's a pretty good indication that you sort of suit the criteria.
Yeah.
So you want to pursue this? How far do you want to take it now?
In 2 or 3 years' time, I'm going to give myself another solid, a long time to build again, because, muscle takes a long time to grow.
I wouldn't know. I'm not very big, but so I've been told.
Yeah, I'm going to take some serious time off and build again, and then come back. And I want to go to the nationals and see what I can do in terms of a pro card.
There's 2 shows coming up in the near future. Are you thinking of maybe doing them? One more show before the year's done?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep. No wasted time. I'm gonna build. Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about this on camera. Last couple of things. You've got a lovely girlfriend who I'm sure has been very supportive. How did you find balancing your relationship with this prep?
You know what? This was probably the best part about it. Alison has been like so supportive. I just couldn't even believe it. She quote unquote did prep with me. She's tracking her macros, all of that kind of stuff. She never ever ate. Like, she didn't eat McDonald's that whole entire time as well.
She did better than I did.
You know? She, like, the foods that she knew I wanted to eat, she would not eat that. Just because. You know, even if she wasn't with me. It was crazy. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful.
That's awesome, man. And
Yeah.
I mean, so just quick, your girlfriend's parents own a Thai restaurant?
Thai restaurant.
Do you remember that time that... So, I get stressed when I diet, people. It was about 8:30 at night. And I go on menu log and I'm like, oh, well, Stephanie, my partner, wanted to eat. So I'm like, all right, we'll order some Thai food. Order this Thai food. And on my Instagram DMs, I get a message from Wesley, which is this receipt of the order. And I just felt so bad. I was like, this guy gonna have to make my food while he's in prep?
Yeah. No.
Oh my God. But just for a shout out, what's the restaurant called?
Thai Amarin in Arundel.
It was good. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, speaking of food, where did this pink one come from? Tell everyone.
Bring it.
Motherfucker. Tell everyone what pink one is.
Pink one. I formed this obsession over pink donuts. Like, I didn't want any other color. Like, don't give me any other donut. I just want a pink one.
And this pink donut for the past probably 2 months has just been referred to as pink one.
Pink one.
And now all I see on my social media is people tagging you in pink one.
Yeah, so that's the new name for a pink donut. If you want a pink donut, you just gotta ask for a pink one. And yeah, it's the best.
I'll make sure I take you out for pink one sometime soon.
That'd be good.
Now, there were certain requests. I put this out there for everyone if they had any questions for Wesley. Cam, you might want to get a close-up of this. Wesley, may I look at your fingernails?
Oh my God. That's so embarrassing, dude.
I don't know.
Who asked that? So let me explain before I go ahead and show you my shit. Some of my clients always pick on me. They always pick on me. And whenever I'm like making a video or I put up a photo and you can see my fingernails, predominantly my thumbs, they screenshot it and then send it to everyone.
Why?
I bite my nails.
Ah.
I bite my nails and they always just like, they'll screenshot and they'll send it and they'll be like, yuck.
Do you do it while you film?
No, I don't do it while
So has he done it while he's been on camera?
No.
Oh, fuck. Otherwise...
I do it as well. It's a stress thing.
Yeah, so
It's better than smoking.
Get a close-up of that.
it looks even worse because I got like patchy tan. So I'm always now, because I'm so self-conscious, whenever I'm making videos or something, I'll always try and like hide my fingernails. Yeah.
All right, I'm very satisfied with that story now. I'm very happy with that. Wesley, I just want to say thank you again for coming on this podcast. I'll openly say this, man. You are one of the good guys in this industry. You and I are so passionate about what we do, and it feels really, really good to know that what we are doing together for the better of this entire industry, and I think it definitely shows. So once again, man, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Fantastic end to 30 weeks of prep. Congratulations to all your clients. You do a fantastic job. We will put Wesley's links in the bio below. My man, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again, Thorpe.